He is the hero, defender of Eternia, the most powerful man in the universe. But what if it were all a lie? What if the face everyone trusts actually belonged to a machine designed to destroy everything he represents? As the world prepares for Skeletor's return to the big screen in 2026, Eternia's greatest threat may not be a skull-faced warlord, but a false hero already within the palace gates. Today we will unmask Eternia's greatest fraud. This is the secret origin of Faker, the evil twin of He-Man. The Masters of the Universe is gigantic, let's be honest, quite confusing. In it, few characters generate as much fascination and debate as Faker. The concept is simple and terrifying, a duplicate of Eternia's greatest hero, created by his archenemy, Skeletor. Purpose: infiltration, sabotage, and most importantly, destroying the people's trust in their champion. He is the personification of psychological warfare, a weapon that attacks not only the body, but the very idea of heroism. But who is Faker, after all? A robot, a magical clone? A blue-skinned imposter? The answer, like almost everything in Masters of the Universe, isn't so simple. It depends on which corner of this rich mythology you're exploring. Over the decades, in different media, Faker's story has been told and retold, creating a mosaic of conflicting origins that only increases his mystery. To truly understand this threat, we need to go back to the beginning of it all, not on a TV screen, but on a toy store shelf. In 1983, Mattel's Masters of the Universe toy line was a worldwide craze. The action figures that defined the franchise were a hit, and it was in this scenario that a very peculiar doll appeared. Using the same body mold as He-Man, this new figure had cadaverous blue skin, shocking orange hair, and, even stranger, Skeleton's purple-orange armor. The packaging advertised him as Faker, the evil skeleton robot. This brings us to the character's first major contradiction. How could a robot made to impersonate He-Man fool anyone with blue skin? The most accepted theory among fans at the time was that the blue skin and villainous armor were Mattel's way of visually communicating to children that, although he looked like He-Man, he was undoubtedly a bad guy. It was a practical design decision that, intentionally or not, created an icon. Interestingly, unlike other figures of the time, Faker didn't come with a dedicated mini-comic to explain his story, leaving his origin open to the fans' imagination. His first relevant appearance in print media came a little later, in Marvel Star Comics. In a 1987 story, Skeletor summons the most evil warriors from various universes, and among them emerges Faker, his former cybernetic imitation. In this version, Skeletor uses magic to disguise Faker's blue skin, allowing him to infiltrate the palace and attack King Randor, showing the tactical potential the character always promised. For millions of people, the definitive version of Masters of the Universe is the Filmation animated series from 1983 to 1985. It was here that Faker had his only, yet memorable, official appearance. In the episode, The Scepter of Transformation, Skeletor magically creates a duplicate of He-Man to trick the sorceress and invade Grayskull Castle. However, the Filmation version was quite different from the toy. To save on animation costs, this Faker was a perfect copy of He-Man. The only difference was that his eyes glowed with a sinister light and his voice had a slight robotic distortion. No blue skin, no Skeletor armor. He was an almost perfect imposter. The ensuing battle is brief. The real He-Man confronts his sosia and throws him into the abyss surrounding Grayskull Castle. Despite his defeat, later dialogue from Skeletor suggests he would rescue him, leaving the door open for a return. And although Faker never had another episode just for him, the most attentive fans noticed something strange. In several scenes from later episodes, a blue-skinned, Riemann-like figure could be glimpsed amidst the skeleton villains. Whether it was an animation error or a deliberate wink to the toy's owners, nobody knows for sure, but these ghostly appearances only helped solidify his status as a cult legend. The cool thing about a character like Faker is that his story never truly ends. With each new incarnation of the Masters of the Universe franchise, he is reimagined, gaining new layers of complexity. In the 2002 series, with a more continuous narrative, Faker's threat was taken to another level. Here, he wasn't just a robot, but a magical technological creation so perfect that he even fooled his mastermind. It was Tilda's keen eye that noticed the imposter was too perfect, lacking the small human imperfections of the real Riemann. This version established Faker not as a simple henchman, but as a high-level threat. Then came the Masters of the Universe Classics toy line, famous for unifying the various continuities and providing a definitive biography. Faker's biography in the Classics line is perhaps his most fascinating origin story. In it, he was built by the Mentor as an automaton to replace Prince Adam at public events. However, the robot was damaged, discarded, and eventually found reprogrammed by the villain Triclops. At Skeleton's request, Triclops not only repaired him but gave him blue skin. The plan was to discredit He-Man, making people believe that their hero was secretly a member of the blue-skinned Gar race and that he had lied about his heritage. This origin gave a brilliant narrative purpose to the blue skin, transforming it from a design quirk into a propaganda weapon. More recently, Faker has made appearances in the Netflix series Masters of the Universe, Revelation. He appears briefly in the first episode, only to be quickly dispatched. A nostalgic nod to fans. In the DC Comics crossover with Injustice, Faker has a more prominent role, even conquering the Palace of Eternia and showing just how dangerous he can be. So why did a character that started as a simple repaint of a toy with only one notable TV appearance become a fan favorite? Faker's popularity is a phenomenon. He transcended his humble origins to become a coach icon, often more popular in fan polls than main characters. Part of the appeal lies in the archetype of the evil twin. The idea of a doppelganger, who embodies the opposite of everything the hero represents, is one of the oldest and most powerful in fiction. It's the struggle against the dark self, the fear that our identity might be stolen and corrupted. Faker is the Masters of the Universe version of this concept. Another factor is the collector appeal. For fans who grew up in the 80s, the Faker toy was unique and visually striking. Its relative obscurity in the media made it a special piece, a secret that not every casual fan knew. He represents the depth of the Motu universe, a character that exists beyond the best-known stories. Ultimately, Faker represents an unrealized potential. His premise is so strong that fans have spent decades imagining scenarios where he is used more effectively. If he could actually replace He-Man. If he developed his own consciousness. A machine that begins to question its programming. He is not just a villain, he is a catalyst for stories. A walking EC that keeps the fans' imagination alive. From an action figure with strange colors to a magical clone and a propaganda tool, Faker's journey is a testament to the creativity of the Masters of the Universe franchise. He is proof that sometimes the simplest ideas are the ones that leave the biggest mark. He is the shadow that follows the hero, the constant fear that trust can be betrayed and that evil can come disguised as good. While the 2026 film focuses on the skeleton's direct threat, the true genius of evil often lies in its subtlety. A character like Faker, with his decades-long history and terrifying premise, would be the perfect antagonist for a future sequel, elevating the conflict from a physical battle to a psychological war for the soul of Eternia. The threat is not being defeated, but being replaced. Faker reminds us that the most dangerous enemy is not always the one we face on the battlefield, but the one who looks like us, speaks like us, sits on our throne. What do you think? Which is your favorite version of Faker's origin? The toy version, the animated version, or the complex biography from the classics? Leave your opinion in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this dive into the mythology of Eternia, don't forget to like, subscribe, and activate the bell so you don't miss our next explorations of the Masters of the Universe.